good. That sounds like a lot of work. Well, tell us more about the report, because we know that Fatou Jain was making a presentation for the press conference, and it was in French, and which we're very happy for, but most Gambians speak in English. So if you could please help us with a quick summary of the press conference and what she was saying. Maybe you can give us your own take on the report.
Okay. Article 19 has been working on the Gambia since very long, and then this time we document all the violation on freedom of expression, the arrest of journalists, arbitrary detention, the murder of Khaddy Diallo. We have a lot of events on it, and then Chief Mane's case, and then this time we concentrate on freedom of assembly restriction, meaning the arrest and then detention and deaths in custody of Solo Sendings, and then the Solo Sendings has died in custody. His body has not been returned to his family, so the wife cannot mourn their deaths, and then the family has go out of the country, and then the people arrest. We have a lot of women that have undergone physical and then sexual violence.
Yep,
and then this
harassment.
is very concerning for us. And then the retention of the corpse of people who was executed in 2012, and then the 50 Ghanaian, and then people who was killed, the 3 people who was killed during the coup plot. All the body has not been returned to the family, including the body of Senegalese Tabara Samba and Jibril Ba. And then these are very shocking and then very concerning for us, and then for our tradition, for the laws, for everything. And then
culture, yeah.
We cannot let things go like that. It's Solo Sendings' death has to be the last one. So we are asking for investigation, independent investigation. We are pushing ECOWAS to take measure against President Yahya Jammeh, who has said that he's not going to investigate the deaths of Solo Sending, and this is normal. So this is definitely not normal to die in custody after protesting peacefully.
Yep,
so this is not normal. These are things we cannot support anymore in Africa and then in the Gambia.
Fantastic.
It has to stop.
Yeah, it has to stop. I think Article 19, we really, on Gynaco, we highlight a lot of the work that you guys do. Your reports are familiar, we are familiar with them. I think there's one very, very important one. I believe, was it 20 years of repression?
Yes,
yes.
It was in 2012.
Yes.
In 2014, during the 20 years of the coup plot of Yahya Jammeh.
Yes, so I think that one highlight a lot of cases. Chief Ibrahim Mane and the 50 West Africans, yes, killed,
Yes.
and so many of the brilliant work that you've been doing. What inspires you as an activist, or a, I don't know, how would you describe yourself?
Because Article 19 works on freedom of expression, and then security of journalists, and then on West Africa. Basically, we are focused on West Africa, but what is going on in the Gambia is definitely the most concerning things happening around all the ECOWAS countries. Gambia, it's very violation, and then no one is spared. It's the journalists, it's the human rights defenders, it's the activists, it's the women, it's everywhere. Imam Babali, and then for the 20 years anniversary of the revolution, we made a briefing you mentioned, and then it was 20 victims of Yahya Jammeh. There are more than 20, but we picked 20, and then it was the journalist, the Chief Mane, it was the 50 foreigner, and then many of them, Fatou Diallo's case, and then the execution, and then there are too many. It's more than 20 cases, but we pick only 20 cases we document and then highlight it in this report. And this time we highlight the one with Solo Sending, and then the 20 with Dabo, and then the more than 40 that was arrested on the May 9.
So what next for Article 19? Because many keep saying that you guys have probably tried to do everything you can, and they are still not, the Gambia government is still not respecting journalists' rights, because I mean Alaji Sise is one such example where a journalist have to run or flee from the country. And so what's your response? I mean, can Article 19 do any more than they are doing now? And are there any sort of partner organizations like the ECOWAS that you are having any positive responses from?
We have actually positive response from ECOWAS, because there are 3 decisions against the Gambia on Chief Manis case, on Khaddy Diallo, and then on Musa Sedikan arrest on 2006, and then torture. So we have also resolution from the African Commission asking for fact-finding mission after the coup plot, and then where more than 27 family members have been arrested only because they are related to people who were suspect of being involved in the coup plots. So these are old women, these are old men, very innocent people not involved in the coup d'etat, but who has been arrested. This is indiscriminate. Yes,
Yeah.
indiscriminate.
Attacks,
So
yeah.
repression is against everyone. Homosexuality everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone. Imams who speak out, Imam Babali, about the execution, everywhere. Everyone. So
And even more recently, there's Imam Sawane.
Imam Sawane, yes,
Yeah.
detained despite the
The
order,
court ruling
the
for
court
him to be
ruling
released, yeah.
to be released.
Yeah, so right.
All right. So yes, to come back, we are echoing, we are telling everywhere, everyone who wants to listen and who does not want to listen, what is happening in the Gambia. So we are documenting facts with this kind of report to disseminate it to everywhere, to the regional mechanism, for them to know what is happening, to our human rights organization working on the Gambia to know, those who are not working on freedom of expression and on the Gambia also to know. We mobilize the media press, because the media in Senegal, because they are watch in Gambia, for the Gambia to be, for the Senegalese to know what is happening in the Gambia, and for all African countries. We translate our report in French for everyone, the society, civil society organization speaking French, to know what is happening in the Gambia. And then, yes, the pressure is going up from everywhere. This time we have, and in 2012 we have every mechanism pronouncing against what is happening and then asking for investigation, and we will continue to put pressure, and then to ask ECOWAS and then to AU also to put more pressure to hold the Gambian responsible, and then President Jammeh has now to answer to the international community and then to respect his international obligation. And let's say to everyone that these deaths, the death of Solo Saneng, is the last one we can take from Yaya Jammeh. And this is the last message.
Okay.
Investigation, and then responsibility, and then respect for Gambians' freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, and then stop the violation.
Yeah, yes, that's very, very emphatic. I have just 2 more questions. In Gambia, there have been allegations of art torture, and more recently, there have been allegations that women have been raped. But so far, myself being an activist and involved in some of these things happening in Gambia, people are not so, willing to come forward and document these atrocities. Do you have a message for the victims who are afraid to come out and say what is happening to them? What kind of message do you have for them? Because I want to believe this is something which will be very, very valuable to complement your work and to highlight the atrocities in the Gambia, and also maybe even put more pressure on ECOWAS and all these other bodies that you are working with. What's your message to the victims who are still in hiding?
Our message to the victim is we are supporting them, and we are very concerned about their situation, and what they are going on through is very injustice. This is clear, this is injustice. People are afraid, they gone under a lot of things, but especially women, they are afraid, and then there is a stigma, and then how to say it? Yes.
The cultural context as
Yes,
well.
the cultural aspect make it difficult for women to admit if you are married that you have been raped, even in
That's
detention.
very true.
So we have testimony going outside, and then what we have is they have been threatened to be raped, but has not been raped.
Okay.
So in our document, in the report, we just highlight that they gone under sexual violence because they have been forced to be naked
yes.
and then circulate in front of security men. This is sexual violence.
Yeah.
This is only this one is something very concerning, very intolerable, that it is under.
So humiliation.
Yes,
more
humiliation.
Like, yes.
This is humiliation. This is sexual violence, and this is something that should stop all the procedure, all the judicial procedure, because these are the violation of their rights. And then, for the rape itself, it's not, victim has not admit to be that they have been raped.
Yeah.
So we cannot affirm, assert that they have been raped.
Yeah.
But we encourage them, if it happens, to document it, to go to a doctor, to go to expert, and then take the evidence, and then keep it. They can keep it confidential, not publish it in the media because of their protection, because of the social culture. But after all this thing will stop, if Yaya Jammeh goes, we have to document all this thing. We need evidence. We need all the violence to be documented. So we need pictures, we need doctor's testimony, we need public notaries, we need everything to be assessed, to be certified, so we have evidence against him, and these are not just allegations. And then we encourage victims to do that. We encourage their family also to speak up and then to ask for justice.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that very strong and emphatic message. I'm sure our listeners would like to.
Sorry for my English.
No, I mean,
it would be better if it was in Wolof or in French.
Your English is much better than mine, and I'm sure your Wolof is probably even better than mine too. But just to wrap up, now I will just let you say your last words and anything that you want to add, maybe from the report or a message to Gambians. You are Senegalese, and you're working hard on the situation in the Gambia with Article 19. What's your message to Gambians out there? And even maybe if I can add to the youths also.
Also, yes.
Yes.
I am Senegalese, but there's no difference between being Senegalese, being Gambian, or being African. What happens in Gambia is not something that we can tolerate. So if it is Senegal, we don't tolerate it. If it is in Ghana, we don't tolerate it. It happens to be in Gambia, and this is not normal. And all of us with African, we have to speak up. The Burkinabe, everyone, we call on everyone to come in this. This is not normal. Yaya Jammeh's regime has to stop. The violation has to stop. And then what is going in the Gambia is not going out anywhere else in West Africa. So why all of us are not
coming together to fight against this?
Find this?
Yeah.
Yes. He's respecting anything. He has insulted ECOWAS, he has insulted Macky Sall, he has insulted UN body, so no one is left.
Yeah.
So we have, I think the fight now is Gambia. We have all to come in it.
Yeah.
And then our message to Gambian is to be strong and then to continue. What has happened with the revolution, the Mbatu revolution, and then the brooms, this was very wonderful. And then we have to continue. It seems that they has hand up, but people also has to go again out. Even if they dispatch the courts everywhere in Mansa Konko, in Banjul, and then Kanifing, people has to go to the court. People has to go to the court to show support, and then they have to express themselves in social media, in the media, inside the country if possible, but in the online media, and then to mobilize. Let's go to the court and say this is not normal. We are supporting the victim and we are there. He cannot kill everyone. He cannot kill all the Gambian. And he cannot continue to kill us because we speak out our voice. We have to go out. Gambian has to go out to the court and then to show support. And that's it. And we are all together. Youth has to be mobilized. They have to mobilize. I don't know how, but they have to mobilize safely and then have alternative means that we can discuss later in private.
Yes.
Alternative means to mobilize and then to get people go out and then speak up against Yahya Jammeh and tell him that we are fed up with this regime and this has to stop.
Indeed. Thank you very, very much. It's a pleasure to have you. Just once more, if you can just reintroduce yourself for the end of this.
Khaddy Diallo, Program Officer at Article 19, working on freedom of expression. And then Gambia, we have a lot of works, more than anywhere else in West Africa.
Fantastic. It's a pleasure to have you on Ghana Radio.